In the world of professional cycling, few names evoke as much respect and admiration as Mathieu van der Poel. Born with the cycling DNA of legends like Raymond Poulidor and Adrie van der Poel, this extraordinary Dutch athlete has redefined the limits of what's possible on two wheels. But what makes Van der Poel so special? How can one man dominate multiple disciplines with seemingly superhuman ease? This documentary explores the three key factors that have turned this genetically gifted athlete into one of the most formidable and versatile competitors cycling has ever known.
Cycling at the moment, certainly among them, and it's handshakes all around for Mathieu van der Poel as he times his effort to perfection.
The first pillar that supports Van der Poel's extraordinary capability is his extensive training in cyclocross. This discipline, practiced intensively since his youth, has uniquely shaped both his technical skills and physiological characteristics.
Foot out. And now he's got to accelerate up this little climb, which he does safely.
The technical circuits of cyclocross, with their diverse surfaces and obstacles, have provided Van der Poel with superior bicycle handling skills and strategic positioning. This experience gives him exceptional spatial awareness in peloton situations, allowing him to anticipate movements and find optimal lines where other cyclists encounter difficulties. What we see in Van der Poel is an extraordinary ability to maintain power across changing terrains. His experience in cyclocross has allowed him to develop neuromuscular patterns that instantly adapt his pedaling to any surface or situation. From a physiological perspective, cyclocross has significantly contributed to the development of his explosive power, resulting from the constant accelerations required after obstacles and curves. The repeated high-intensity efforts have substantially raised his anaerobic threshold, allowing him to maintain high-power efforts for extended periods.
Will we see the afterburners being led by Mathieu van der Poel to catch Pablo at the final?
Well, this is the kind of thing that Van der Poel does so well. He's got that next level when it comes to a short, steep burst.
Well, here we go. It's Van der Poel who goes straight past Pablo. Amazing stuff by the rider from the Netherlands. He is a sensational athlete, Van der Poel. He has saved this day, taken victory from the clutches of defeat.
Van der Poel's exceptionally high anaerobic threshold represents one of the fundamental pillars of his superior performance in professional cycling. This crucial physiological adaptation is largely the result of his intensive training and competition in cyclocross. The repeated efforts that Van der Poel has faced in cyclocross have triggered extraordinary physiological adaptations. This is currently reflected in his current cyclocross competitions. As commentator Woest says in the Dutch media, Van der Poel also employs calculated tactics in cyclocross competitions, deliberately holding back at the start to maximize television exposure for his sponsors. If he were to escape too early alone, the cameras would shift their focus to the fight for second place. This strategy of faking tension in races demonstrates their complete professionalism in both sporting and commercial terms. During road races, this ability translates into his capability to launch devastating attacks at considerable distances from the finish line and maintain them until the end, as he has demonstrated in classics like the Tour of Flanders or Paris-Roubaix.
And to be honest, that is blue touch paper time for those behind. And guess what? Mathieu van der Poel says, I'm going to go for this. Ivan Garcia has found himself in no man's land, ending up as well here on the mud and guts, I think.
He got in a time machine and gone back to the 80s.
When his competitors begin to accumulate lactate and experience the characteristic burn of fatigued muscles, Van der Poel can continue generating high-power outputs thanks to his extraordinary anaerobic threshold.
Jordi May is trying to get back onto the wheel as John Degenkolb. There's only one rider who's trying to match him.
Van der Poel's strategic relocation to Spain for endurance training represents a crucial and often overlooked development in his career. This move addressed his relative weakness in sustained efforts compared to his explosive power. According to Van der Poel, training in the mountainous regions of Spain provided key advantages: consistent favorable weather, long climbs absent in the Netherlands, and optimal altitude conditions. This environmental change allowed for crucial physiological adaptations: increased mitochondrial density, improving aerobic efficiency, increased cardiac systolic volume for better oxygen delivery, improved recruitment of slow-twitch muscle fibers, complementing his explosive capabilities, and greater mental resilience for sustained efforts. The results transformed his performances. Previously known primarily for explosive attacks, but sometimes struggling in longer races or mountainous terrain, after training in Spain, Van der Poel demonstrated a remarkable ability to maintain his explosive power even after 250-plus kilometers, or on challenging climbs.
Stoppage of almost an hour. He overcame adversaries at a lengthy. There is nobody quite like Mathieu Van der Poel. And Mathieu Van der Poel is the world road race champion.
There exists a fourth factor, less known but equally important: Van der Poel's extraordinary competitiveness during his training sessions. Says Sylvain Diller that Mathieu is the fuel that feeds the fire when he decides to turn the session into a competition. If he feels like competing that day, no matter what's in the plan, everything becomes a race. It is this flexibility and adaptability in race simulation training that makes his optimal form not as far from reach as cyclists of the past did to achieve a goal. He is always ready, as Sylvain Diller makes quite clear. What we witnessed with Van der Poel is not simply the result of natural talent, but the perfect culmination of multiple aligned factors: genetics, meticulous training, constant innovation, and a relentlessly competitive mindset. It is this convergence of elements that has created not just a champion, but a revolutionary of the sport, who continues to redefine the limits of what is possible in professional cycling. In a sport where victories are measured in seconds and margins are infinitesimal, Mathieu Van der Poel has found the formula to consistently stand out from the rest. His legacy will not only be that of a cyclist with an impressive record, but that of an athlete who fundamentally changed our understanding of what is possible to achieve on two wheels.
As soon as he got into that little group at the finish, I think we knew what was coming, but for him it must be nerve-wracking, and at Tiege Benoot's looking after